take your bike registered and everything? Oh yeah. You know what's what?
So this ride more or less started out like most, out here in Brooklyn, New York on a mid-October day. As a lot of you know, I live by the philosophy of ride early and ride often, which grants me the opportunity to experience my city in moments of semi-stillness before the inevitable chaos starts churning. Here once again in Dead End Alley, not even a rat stirred as the sun began to rise from the east. Just me, my 131 Lowrider ST, and this cat looking confused as to why his morning rat hunt had been interrupted. I had just come off an extremely challenging week at work, and there was only one thing I could think of to reset my mind and my soul from the week I had just had. And that, my friends, would be to get out of this soul-swallowing place for a short time and to clear my head with some good miles. New York City is by far one of the hardest riding environments you may encounter, but it does have its benefits. All within a 100-mile radius, you have the ocean, the mountains, the farmlands, the forest twisties, and access to the best food and coffee all the while. I figured a good destination for today would be up into Bear Mountain with the leaves starting to change and the fact that I hadn't been up there in a while. So yeah, once again, it is time to escape New York. This particular morning was gloomy and overcast, which is a cool light to look at this bike under because it really does bring out the texture of the gold leaf in the paint. Since unveiling this new iteration of the bike, I've definitely gotten a lot of love on this new direction, and I want to take a moment to thank anyone who's taken time to leave a comment on any of the previous videos. One of the most common questions I've gotten asked on this new iteration is specifically about these lowers. So these lowers are made by Toll Built, and one of the main reasons why I chose them is because I knew they would clear this crash bar. Whereas on my Dyna build, I actually had to cut out the lowers in order to run them around my crash bar. You can see there's plenty of clearance here, making it look way cleaner and making the installation way less of a headache. Some people have also asked me what is the purpose of these beyond aesthetics. Well, yeah, number one, aesthetically, they definitely give the bike more of a presence, but functionality-wise, they actually really shine on a day like today, where I know the further north I'm going to ride, the colder the temperatures are going to get. So essentially, if you're someone that rides a lot in the cold or rides a lot in the rain, these things are an absolute game changer. I am a true 4-season rider, so for this build, these were definitely a must. So like I said, where I was going, I knew it was definitely going to be on the colder side, dropping into the 40s and well into the 30s combined with wind chill. That being said, I came out swinging, rocking my first MFG base layer. This thing is coming clutch for the transitional seasons, just being incredibly light, cutting through the wind, and being 3 times warmer than wool. The jacket I'm rocking here is from Saint Denim, and it's one of my favorites because it feels the closest to a classic denim jacket while giving the added protection of Dyneema as well as having armor pockets. This vest, of course, is my signature first MFG custom low side. I've accumulated thousands of miles on this vest at this point, and it only gets better with age. Finally, these are my gloves from Maroon Bell Outdoors. The leather on these things is simply on another level, and after breaking these things in, they fit like a, they fit like a glove. Yeah, they fit like a glove. I've learned my lesson enough times to know to not leave home without my heated gear for rides like these. And although I'm confident I won't need it, I like to have the added insurance.
This is what you might call foreshadowing.
As you can see, the seating position is as dialed in as it can be with this bike. It's exactly how I need it to be, which is allowing me to ride as aggressive as I want, while also providing just a comfortable and sustainable riding position. Anyways, let's start this thing up and keep it moving. Like I said, the amount of power that this bike is slinging makes it completely overkill for a place like New York City. Just the way I like it. This guy decided it would be a good idea to start tailgating me. Rather than devolving into primal road rage, I courteously asked him to pass me to kindly give him a head start before I blow him away with the 150 plus pounds of torque I have slinging through this bike. I guess he realized who I was and got nervous or something.
Bro, come on, he has no idea who the you are.
But anyways, he can eat my dust and know that there's a special place in hell for anyone who tries to tailgate a motorcycle. Look guys, a wild sport bike rider appears. I always make it a priority to wave to these guys to try to demystify the myth that only Harley riders wave to other Harley riders. He waves back, so that's cool. I let him go ahead because I'm not in my 20s anymore racing sport bikes. But then somehow I find myself devolving and tearing after him for no reason at all, really. By the Palisades, I easily catch up to him and we both chill the f*** out and just cruise for a minute. It only took about 10 minutes for the wind chill to start getting into my bones and I knew it was time to submit to the heated gear.
Bro, are you f***ing serious? It's only October.
Bro, do you even know about the wind chill chart? That's what I thought. I stopped to throw on my heated gear, which is a true amalgam of a bunch of different brands. My heated jacket liner is from Hot Wired. I like this one because of the simplicity and user-friendliness on the go. My gloves are from Gerbing. I like these because of the general fit and protection that they offer with having real leather. Stop playing games with that adapter and just hardwire in the female cord directly into your battery and save yourself the headache of having to carry another cord with you. The only way I can describe this feeling as the heat instantaneously hits my cold bones is like taking a hot shower after a cold day. I feel invigorated and ready for the cold miles to come. So if you're looking to get any of this stuff, hop on over to J&P Cycles, which is the go-to spot for anything like this. And if you want more info, I promise I'll have a more detailed video on this stuff coming soon. As I pass by the Bear Mountain Bridge, I think of how insane it was that I helped lead over 100 bikes over this bridge 6 years ago. As you get closer to the peak of the mountain, the roads morph into true twisties. I've seen some of the most experienced riders I know actually lose it within these curves, and although I'm here to have fun, I take a deep breath and I remember the fundamentals. I get stopped by some local birds inquiring where the nearest Cracker Barrel is, and I tell them I believe it's somewhere in Fishkill. Grandma's sampler for the win. In this early light and with the leaves just starting to change, the view up here is simply on another level. Being a biker out of New York City and riding to Bear Mountain in the fall is about as basic as drinking a pumpkin spice latte in your puffy vest. But damn guys, when you hit it at the right time, it truly does not disappoint. As more bikes would pull in and pull out, the sky was clear enough to actually see the skyline through the horizon. I took a moment to just sit and marvel how fortunate I was to find a spot like this less than 100 miles from home. But however, there are other views than these, so let me take you on over to my favorite spot. A lot of people get so excited by the tower and fail to get off the beaten path to find this little alcove up here. From up here, you could get a clear view of both the river and the bridge. This is by far one of my favorite views of this area. I just had to take a moment here and stop and take it all in. Like a lot of you, I have to grind to the bone to pay the bills. Life could get pretty gnarly trying to live and survive in New York, and I've been doing it for my entire life now. It's being able to get away and find moments like this that cleanse my soul and restore my PMA. It's been said before, but motorcycles has been and remains to be my true escape. A lifestyle, not a trend. I meet this dude from the Ironworkers Union who was out for a ride with his wife. I did my best to get a good couple pictures of them and made sure to give them a sticker pack on their way out. By the way, on the topic of sticker packs, I plan to send out sticker packs to the top 3 comments in this video, so leave a comment today. But anyways, it was great to meet these two. We said farewell and they rode off to enjoy some more cold miles in the mountains. I soaked up these last glorious moments of solitude with just me and my lowrider ST. I decided I had got my fill, and my soul got what it needed from this ride, so it was time to return back to Brooklyn. I would, however, wind up getting pulled over on the way out, and I was prepared to tell him that I thought my odometer was reading kilometers per hour. But it turned out he had actually been a fan of my YouTube channel and been following my videos for a while, and wanted to ask me for a good recommendation on a comm unit. I hooked him up with nothing but the best, and kept it moving. The ride home was generally smooth, which is one of the benefits to starting your day before 7 a.m. It's pretty rare that I'm on the George Washington Bridge and not fighting an all-out battle, but things were moving just fine on this day. The way the skyline hits as you ride over the RFK, or is it Triborough Bridge? I don't know what the they're calling it these days. It never really seems to disappoint. I find myself right back where I started, crossing the Kosciuszko once again. I stopped by Blue Bottle Coffee because I was in the mood for a ridiculously overpriced but equally delicious beverage after 100+ miles. I then meet up with Jenny over at Radio Brooklyn, which is the place that Vong Asphalt calls quote-unquote the place that you go to wait online. Amongst some finely baked goods, we picked up this burrata and prosciutto sandwich, and it's a good thing that I had my commemorative Indian Larry block party knife to properly cut these sandwiches. Pigeons, rats, skaters, everybody was out and about. The sun was at that place in the sky where heated gear was a distant memory. I was born here in New York, and I've lived here all my life, and I've watched a lot of my friends and family leave due to how insane life could be on the daily out here. But like anything, it's high risk, high reward. I titled this video Escape New York, but I conclude this video returning to New York, which remains home for me. There are times where this city will grind your soul down into dust if you let it, but if you could find a way to roll with the punches and periodically escape, You may just find a sunny day at the end of it all. I know I started this day feeling pretty down from things that I had no control over, but ended feeling truly uplifted, standing beside my wife, watching the boats come in along the East River. And that's it for this one. Thank you as always for joining me for these adventures. We do have some of the finest merch available if you're trying to pay the iron price with me this season. As always, practice a positive mental attitude and ride for light. FXDLS Brooklyn is out.
Goodbye.